Hey, so you landed on this video for a reason, is because you are looking for a solution to your problem. Okay? That is, how do you get your job? How do you get your dream job? For any job, it's the same process that I take my high ticket clients through. Am I going to pitch you on something? No, no crazy course or whatever. Oh, get all the secrets and my membership. No, no, not all that. Not yet, anyway, since it's my first video. But I'm going to show you the most important thing you need to change your mindset to, and also my 4-phase step-by-step system to apply to your resume and your job search that will change your life. Okay, it will change your job hunting career. So stay to where I present that in the video. I'm not going to take long. We'll just get to it pretty quick. I just need to give you some pre-game before we get into the real game. Okay, so a little bit about me. I am a forever student at university, got my bachelor's, master's, PhD, and all that stuff. None of that mattered as far as the job search was concerned, though, because I dealt with struggling to get a job for 8 years. All right, even when I had jobs, I had there would be like 10 months at a time for one of my breaks where I still couldn't get a job. All right, because the market was just crazy. All right. But in that time, I went from being a forever broke college student to finally getting my first internship after I turned 25. Yeah, real late, right? Real late. An internship in my industry, anyway. What industry am I in? Electrical engineering, electrical and electronics engineering. Oh, well, it's easy for you to get a job or tech. It's hard out here for us. I understand. I get it. It's hard out there for engineers too. Okay. A lot of engineers are not getting hired. And why is everybody dealing with this problem? It's because there's a fundamental thing that's not being taught, and that's how to sell solutions. And I'm going to get into that. You'll know the strategy. You're going to walk away from this with a strategy that you can implement today to change your job search trajectory for good. All right. This is the stuff I teach my head ticket clients. All right. I charge them $1,000 to $5,000 to learn electrical engineering, and also on the back end to do the career. I only do like $1,000 for the career stuff. All right. So job search strategy. This is what I was doing. I was struggling for 8 years on how to get a job. I eventually got into, I finally got into the job market. Finally started making some progress. And what I noticed is that once I got my first internship and everything, once I applied certain principles I had learned and a different mindset I had to apply to my resume and my LinkedIn, and just my resume in general, that was the most important thing, and my mindset, everything changed for me. Everything changed. And I've not gone back since. I've instilled this kind of new mindset into every one of my clients, and it works 100% of the time. Okay? There's a reason it works 100% of the time, and I'm going to show that to you. So you're probably dealing with, when you apply for jobs, nobody getting back to you. Very common. Liz Ryan, she's a great career coach. If you're not following her, you should follow her. Okay. You should also check out Adam Karpiak. Great guy. Both of those, Liz Ryan especially, she started really changing my mind and exposing the foolishness in the job market. Okay. But you don't get any calls back or callbacks from your job applications and putting your stuff in the ATS. She calls it the black hole, the ATS black hole. Okay. There are also no interviews. Even when you have the qualifications and you give your resume to a recruiter, you show up at a career fair and they're like, oh, okay. And then some people are getting interviews and you're not. Like, what? What are they doing to? I know I'm qualified for these roles you have in this website. So why aren't you giving me an interview? Right? Then you have less qualified people getting jobs around you. You have to deal with people asking you, oh, hey, Kirsch, so you're doing that job search, right? It's been like a week, and how's that going? And it's like, oh, every time they ask, it's like, well, I'm looking. Or you have your significant other, your partner, your spouse, who's like, oh, well, it's been 3 months. Like, what's going on? Okay? I've been there. I've been there. All right? You see other people getting hired. It's like, oh, I got my job. and on LinkedIn or whatever, and it's like, okay, good for you. At first it gives you hope, and then after a while it's like, yo, whatever. Why isn't this working for me? What's wrong with me? Okay, I had to change my mindset about it because it wasn't the truth. So that was my journey to struggle. All right, for 8 years I struggled. I almost got some offers, but because I was international, they rescinded it. I was like, what? Okay. The breakthrough I had was when I had to sell my first online course. And I took this little course on Udemy by Dave Espino. And he explained how do you sell your course on Udemy. I applied the principles to that. And months later, I realized, wow, wait a second. If I was able to sell my course, and it did sell, by the way, it was making 30 sales every month, right? For a very niche, very low search volume course. But because I provided the right solution, people wanted it and they kept buying for 7 years. Okay, 7 years. So I applied his principles, Dave Espino, Espino, to how to sell your course on Udemy, how to do copywriting, this and that. Then what I did, I said, hey, I was able to sell. They say sell yourself, right? I was able to sell my course. So what if I apply that to my resume, right? And I had to iterate and make a bunch of different changes. And then there was this transformation, right? Where I developed this system that started getting me from like my internship. I had to get a job, right? When I applied this and I said, let me try this on my resume. That's when I started getting calls. I put it on Career Builder and I started getting calls literally every day. I had to walk out the internship, the office where I was doing my internship. This is the final 2 weeks of being in my internship. And they didn't say, come back next year, or they didn't extend a long-term contract or job. I was like, man, I got to go back to school. Like, what am I going to do? So I had to apply this. I got desperate. I applied this. And I was getting calls every single day. Literally. I was walking out lunchtime every time. And the recruiters kept calling me. Guess what? In about a week, I had a phone call. We had the discussion. I had the skills. Got hired at my first real job, paying me full time as a service professional. In fact, I was overqualified for the job. I had more than. That changed my life. Okay? I'm going to show you how this will work for you. So what I had to do was change from an employee mindset as far as the job search was concerned to the entrepreneur mindset. Mind you, I started my first business at 8, and all that. And I've always been a hustler, always trying to make some fun. I always found a way to have a solution, very resourceful, and made money off of it. Okay. So I'm always got the hustler entrepreneur mindset. But I didn't apply that to the employee stuff, to the resume stuff. So what employees do, their mindset, and this is where I was, is that I need a job. What can they give me? How do I fit the requirements for this job? How can I make sure I'm well taken care of? All this stuff, blah, blah, blah. No. We have to switch to the entrepreneur mindset. And some of you who are watching, if you're watching this, you probably started a side hustle. You probably have a side hustle. Okay. What do entrepreneurs think of? They think about, how do I solve a problem for a customer or a client? What value can I provide or deliver for them? How do I exceed their expectations? What needs to get done for me to get paid? What is the customer going to pay for? What do they value? This is the most important thing. If you take nothing away from this video, this is the most important thing. But there's something, I'm going to give you the steps to implement. Okay? What this means, if we dig down into it, is that companies are customers. Okay? We look over here. Companies are customers. Let me get my face out the way. Let me put myself over up upper right. Companies are customers. They have problems they need solved. So the first thing you need to do is to throw away your resume, throw it in the trash, crumple it up, put it away, set it on fire. Okay? Then look at the job market. Look at the job descriptions on the job market. And realize that these job descriptions are actually problems disguised as a job. Oh, a job is something that takes care of me, right? No, a job is some part of that company screaming to have their problem solved. They're screaming to have their problem solved by someone who is skilled enough to pitch them on a service or offer to solve their problem. They are looking for someone who is skilled enough to solve their problem. The problem is so big that they're willing to spend now $50,000 a year, $120,000 a year, $80,000 a year, 60, whatever, $444,000 a year. They're willing to spend that much money to solve that problem. That's what, $5,000 a month, $4,000 a month, and pay taxes on that, and Social Security. I know that's how big the problem is. What we need to figure out, what we need to realize actually, is that you are the solution. Now, here's the thing. I don't like this wording, you are the solution. A service you provide can be their solution as long as you provide the right service and the right pitch. What do you mean by pitch, Kirsch? By pitch, I mean your resume. Okay, I didn't want to spoil it, but we're going to get into it. Your skills fix their pain points. The skills you provide and that you pitch fix their pain points. Hiring is a transaction. What does this mean? They're buying your solution to their problem. Okay, so this is the mindset shift. They're not buying all of your experience and everything and your value and blah, blah. No, we don't care about all that. We care about what solution can you provide that would fix our problem for a long term, for good. Hello. What's going to be the return on our investment? Let's say you want to work at a Starbucks job, but we're not even using that terminology anymore, are we? Let's say you want to provide a service that would get more cups of coffee paid for by customers per hour. You're providing that solution. It's not a job. It's a solution you're providing. You say, hey, I could get you twice as many cups of coffee paid for. Twice? What? For real? Yeah, 1.5 times. 1.5 to 2 times as much coffee. As many sales. Okay. You're not saying, oh, I've done all this. I've done everything in the world. I've climbed Mount Everest, blah, blah, blah. You're saying I can get you twice as many coffee cups per hour as anybody else out there. What you got going on there? Because of my experience, because of the system I've created. Like, really? Okay. This is where we talk about ROI. If you're not familiar with ROI, this is a business term, return on investment. This is what they care about. What is the return on their investment for them paying for a solution? Not paying for you, paying for a solution you provide. Why do I keep saying it this way? Because this is what's going to craft the resume. This is the new resume. We're reverse engineering the right resume. The resume is a pitch. Okay? You want a document that's going to show how your value exceeds your cost. Okay, this is the most important part of the video. If you made it this far, congratulations. If you've skipped to this part before understanding and framing it correctly, you need to go back to the previous section of this video. Okay, but if you're still here and still didn't do it, that's fine. You're still going to get value. Here is the alignment technique. This is the most powerful and most important principle in your job search. It's going to change the game. One, you need to analyze the job descriptions on the market. Kirsch, well, what about my resume? Forget about your resume. Throw that thing in the trash, okay? Your resume and your CV are a list of things you've done in your life. Here's how you need to think about this. It's a list of things you've done in your life. A group of many different things. It's a solution and thing you've made that is looking for somebody to match with it. Very unique set of experiences. And you're looking for somebody or something to match with it. It's like, hey, I built all the experience. Let me go. Where's my soulmate? Who's going to be happy exactly with me specifically? How long is that going to take? You're going to need to meet and date hundreds, if not thousands of people to find the right match that you're willing to tolerate, or that's willing to tolerate you. Just kidding. Okay. Right? Like you make all these unique things. It's like, oh, it's like we're in startups make a product. You know why like 90%, 95% of startups fail? Within the first year, I think it is, first 5 years, whatever. It's because they build a product first, then they go find them. They go look for customers. Like, hey, we have a solution. Let's find the customers. If you watch Shark Tank or anything, you know that's the worst way to go about it, right? That's literally what we're doing with our resumes. We craft this resume for everything we've done and everything we know. It's like, blah, there you go. Somebody hire me. It's like, you'll get people who are interested. You'll get companies that are interested, because you've got skills for a reason, but it's going to take a lot longer. You'll get fewer and fewer responses to your application. Sounds familiar? Yeah. And it's not your fault. It's not my fault or whatever. Nobody's been taught this. Who thinks, oh, let me go figure out how to be an entrepreneur to solve my job search problem? What? People go to be entrepreneurs and make money because oftentimes because they can't figure out the job problem. Okay? Or they quit their job like me, or both like me. All right? The first thing we need to do is throw the resume in the trash, the CV in the trash, and first we need to analyze the job market. To do that, what do? You go on Google. You search for a job you know you can do and that you're interested in and that you can do very well. You might even have a unique method or system to do that kind of task. And you say, oh, I check 80%, 100% of the boxes here. You pull that job description. You copy paste it in a Google Doc, whatever, or just keep the link. Put the link in a Google Doc. Get the whole link, actually. You do that again, you say, oh, this job, I could totally do that. Oh I'll ace that, I'll kill that. Put that link in a Google Doc. Okay, put it in your phone or whatever, your iPhone apps, notes or whatever, notes app. Get 5 of those, okay? Once you do that, you're going to then look at the top 6 skills that they're asking for. Okay, let's really put this in perspective. The hiring manager took the time to write down exactly what the heck problems we have, and we need them solved yesterday. So much so we're willing to drop 5 figures per year on this to solve it. Help me. That's what a job description is. Help me. Solve these problems, we pay you. Solve them the best way, you're hired for the job, for the service. Okay? So you want to analyze the job descriptions. Look at the top 6 key skills that they want. Yeah, I'm looking at you. I hope you're doing it. You might want to pause the video and do it right now, actually. Even just for one job. Look at the top 6 skills. You put those 6 skills down. Well, Kirsch, how do I detect what the top 6 skills are? You'll be able to pick it out. You've done the job before, kind of what you'll be able to pick it out. Pick those top 6 ones. Matter of fact, okay, I'm about to go off. Matter of fact, you want to put the entire job description along with the company information from the job link. In fact, put the job link into ChatGPT and enable web search. Then have ChatGPT extract the top 6 most important skills. If it's a little tricky to figure out, right? Once that's done, the next step is to match. Match means mirror their exact terminology. If they're speaking English, don't speak in Japanese. This seems like an ancient Japanese character. Is this wool? Anyway, all right. You want to match their interest, their terminology. The key words that they're using, use those same words. I'm not saying be similar. No. If they say coffee cup and your resume that you've thrown away at this point doesn't exist, says cup of coffee, you don't say cup of coffee. You say coffee cup because that's what the hiring manager is thinking. That's what the person who put the post is thinking. They're like, I want coffee cup. Maybe it means a certain thing to them that you don't know about. Use that same key term or key phrase. You use the same keywords. They say, oh, presentation. Not presenter. No. Presentation. You put in a document that you'll be preparing, presentation. This is, y'all think I'm playing with this. I'm not playing, okay? Okay. And I'm not upset. Okay, I am a little. I'm just serious with this thing because I want this to work for you. It always works if you do it. Don't try to change things up and try to invent stuff. Well, Kirsch, I know, and I heard like, no, well, why are you watching the video? Because the stuff out there doesn't work consistently. This does, okay? You get those top 6 skills, those keywords, and the key phrases they may use. What's a key phrase? A key phrase is like coffee cup, like technical presentation, like interdisciplinary workflow, whatever, right? Same key phrases, keywords. So ask ChatGPT, ask Claude, whatever, Perplexity, Google, whatever, Gemini, to extract those top 6 keywords and key phrases. Once you've extracted that list, now back in the day, I used to use word cloud search to do this, keyword cloud search to do this before ChatGPT pulled up, all right? But now with AI, you can do this, okay? The next thing you do is you position. What does this mean? Frame experience as solutions to their problems. Okay, it's at this point we have to think about it, something very important. You are only going to put things that you've done and know how to do using those same keywords on a document, on a blank document. The same blank document, say, I'm going to use these skills that they want. I've demonstrated the skill. I could actually do this. In fact, I have experience. That's my alarm. It's 6:45 a.m. here. I have my experience doing this. Okay? Doing this specific thing in the way that they said it. Do not reword what they said. You put it in there the way they said it. You have experience doing that. Okay? This goes into the match principle. Mirror their exact terminology. Match it. Exactly. Frame your experience as solutions to their problem. What does that mean? That means the solution is there was a problem. Okay, now this document, by this time, this is your pitch, right? This is your pitch. It has your name on it. This document has your name on it. It has your contact information, your city, where you don't put your address. Okay, just put your city and your state, or just put your state, whatever way, or your area that you're living. You don't even have to put the specific city. Silicon Valley area, the Bay Area, California, whatever, right? Below that, you put the job title. You're matching them. Then what you do is you list those skills that they put here that you extracted. You put that at the top of the resume. Now we're getting into the resume structure. In fact, I need to get into another video for that. The experience, you frame it as a solution to their problem. What does that mean? You solve this specific problem that they're asking for with this skill or technique or something, whatever, resulting in some benefit. Hello. Now here's what's going on. You are putting this document, you're writing out this document that says, hey, you're dealing with this problem, I solved that. You're dealing with that problem, I solved that. You're dealing with this problem, I know how to solve that. Or I'm studying to know how to solve that specific thing. Not, here's everything I've done in the way that I would write it or describe it and blah, blah, blah. Because they don't know for sure that the way that you're talking about it is the way that they need it solved. They need to know that you are solving their problem, not that you are just throwing something at them that may not fit exactly what they're looking for. What does this mean? You could be the best employee in the world. You could be the best service professional, not employee, service professional in the world at the best price. But if you don't match what they put on the thing, on a job description, it's not going to click. you're not going to get pulled up because the service, the solution you're providing doesn't match. It's about the right match. If okay, let's think about it this way. If I could be with any celebrity in the world, right? But they don't match who I need as a partner, then I'm not going to be with that celebrity. Okay? Hello. All right. So that's what you want. The companies want the right match, not necessarily the best person for the job, actually. Though they do want the best person. They want the best solution for the job in as good as a person as they can get. All right? Character is very important. It's the most important, actually, for a lot of jobs. So now, what do? Deliver. You prove your value with specific examples. This is where we get into the experience. Specific examples, this is in your experience section where you say, this is how I solved this problem. This is how I solved this problem. This is the exact problem you're dealing with. The exact keywords, the exact key phrases. That's why this first exercise is so important. Well, why didn't we just jump into this stuff? It's because if you keep thinking about what you can bring to the table, then you're always going to get this wrong. You're always going to want to tweak something. You're always going to want to be upset that they rejected your application. We had to change our thinking to, they need a problem solved. They need it solved the specific way that they need it done. They're only going to recognize things that specifically speak to their problem. Think about a jar of peanut butter. If you look for a specific peanut butter and you see one jar of peanut butter that has no honey and one that does have honey, exact same jar, great labels, everything matches, but one has honey and one doesn't. And it's like, oh, I don't know what the honey would do to the peanut butter. I'm gonna just get the regular peanut butter. But what if the honey in the peanut butter is better? I don't know if you should put honey in peanut butter, whatever. But what if it's better for you? Didn't matter because you were buying the match, the thing you wanted. Hopefully that makes it click. Okay. So now do you understand why I said don't use your resume? Throw that thing in the trash? It's because we are presenting pitches for their solution to their problem, not our experience, not our life story. Okay. This is business. All right. What we do then, when it says position, right? You want to frame experience and solution to their problem, use their keywords. That's how you position it. You deliver it by demonstrating and saying what you did to solve a problem for previous clients. Now, this gets into what we call social proof in business. Social proof. The company is like, or the customer is like, oh, okay, this is your rap sheet. Other people worked with you. Oh, no, okay, I can kind of trust you now. I can kind of trust it. You were hired there, and you solved these specific exact problems. Okay. Oh. Okay. Well, why do you want to solve the problems for us now? Why don't you keep doing it with them? You know. Oh, higher pay. Okay. You can deliver even better. Oh, okay. You want to level up, and you do want to do even more. Oh, okay, great. This good. There's a whole psychology. There's a whole thing, a masterclass I can do just on this stuff alone. But this video is super long at this point. So, delivery is where you put on a resume, how you've delivered for previous clients, and this gets into social proof. Since you've proved that others have benefited from your services for this specific problem, then they're interested. If you showed how you solve problems, different problems for different clients, right? That the company, the job you're applying to, listen to this, the job you're applying to, right? They're looking for coffee to be made, but then you highlight experience where you solve the problem of babysitting. I don't know, whatever. And you want to showcase, I don't know, something that's not the solution that they're looking for. They're not going to, they're going to wash over it. They're going to be like, okay, well, that's good. That can maybe demonstrate being responsible. You can position it that way, right? You can position it that way as far as being responsible, dealing with high intense situations and all that stuff. That's how you would want to position that. But see, I'm only supposed to cover the process and not get this deep into this stuff. All right, anyway, let's get back to it. We deliver, prove your examples, your value with specific examples. Okay. Now, why do I have this slide that says get started today? 100% of the people I coach in this thing, and a lot of times I just do it for them. That's a done for you service that I provide. They get at least, honestly, it's a 300% interview rate. But I say 93% to be conservative, just because, 300%, that's crazy. Yeah, I know, because they don't teach entrepreneurship on how to get a job. Like, what? But it's the same thing. It's selling a pitch, a solution to somebody's problem. That's all it is. For clients using these techniques, okay? My client specifically using these techniques works every time. It's psychology. Offer rate from they get an 85% increase in offer rate from interviews to job offers. Yes, because I coach them through the interview. I do mock interviews with them. I dig into the psychology and the mindset that we need to keep throughout the entire job attraction process. We go from job hunting to job attracting. Oh, that's another thing I was supposed to mention. The last time I had to apply to a job was summer 2019. Summer 2019. Recruiters approach me and come to my inbox every day since 2019. At first, it started off, 3 a week and whatnot. Now it's every day. Well, Kirsch, that's impossible. No, it's not impossible. It's called attracting, and you leverage LinkedIn and online job portals and doing your reverse engineering. What's the document we were talking about? The resume. The resume is not your CV or a list of experiences and everything. No, it is a pitch you provide to a customer who needs their problem solved. So you show how you solved that problem. Bonus points if you've done it in the past for other people, other customers who had that same problem. My nose is a little sniffy, so bear with me. Then you have a 47% salary increase. Okay? All my clients, they get a 47% salary increase, average compensation improvement. That's a little much. I generated this with AI. The 93% is under a statement. 85% is an understatement, because before they were getting no offers per 6 months. Then people like Roy, he got 3 offers. I'd say about a month into us starting this process. It usually takes 3 to 4 weeks before a first offer. Once you actually implement this stuff. My most recent client, she actually started doing what I told her to do on LinkedIn. Right? I did her resume for her, and she actually started doing what I told her to do on LinkedIn. Within a week, boom. Interview. Next week we'll see. She's gonna let me know how that interview. She let me know how the interview went. It went very well. Next week she's gonna let me know if she gets an offer for that or not. She said that's my job. I don't want to jinx it. Okay. For the salary increase, 47% is kind of high. Yes, that's definitely been achieved by like some of my earliest clients, especially because they were working as school teachers, electrical engineers, mind you, working as a school teacher because I don't even want to say failed. They got beat down by the job search thing so much because they're doing it the wrong way. Job search, apply, blah, blah. My solution, my unique whatever, my unique blah, blah, blah. From the dating analogy, you see why that doesn't work, right? We need to attract and we need to provide a pitch, a solution, and that's it. Package a solution, not your entire life situation. So yeah, she went from school teacher to SpaceX. She's still there. Her name is, what's her name? I forgot her name, sorry. Okay, she's one of my earliest clients, six years ago. Another one, I cannot forget my second client. I can't say her name because she didn't want the company to get in trouble with the company. But let's call her Sue. She implemented my LinkedIn strategies, my resume strategy and tactics within 3 weeks. Oh, I also trained her in the hardware design that she was trying to transition into. In 3 weeks, interview. The week later, job offer. Stanford University student. Oh, and she was going from, she went from supervising stuff on a conveyor belt. I don't know what she was. She had electrical engineering degree and all that stuff. But she was depressed. She feels like she's not using her degree, blah blah blah. And then she went from supervising other engineers with the stuff on a conveyor belt to actually working as a hardware design engineer. That's why I had to guide her and mentor her to learn hardware and PCB design, which is what I did at Intel and previous jobs. And then she went from that to working as a printed circuit board designer, then hardware design engineer. That's more than a 47. That was like a 100%, no, yeah, 180% to 100% salary increase. So that's my average. On average, the lowest my clients gain is 20% boost. Because I don't play. All right? This system works. If you don't believe it, then that's fine. It's whatever. Okay. So that's the presentation. Go over this stuff, the alignment. Analyze the job descriptions that are out there. Get 5 job links along with the company information. I can go so deep into this. I even have a masterclass. If you want to get that masterclass, it's for purchase, real inexpensive. You get that. It's less than getting, Starbucks breakfast with coffee and stuff in the morning. It's less than $20 right now. It's gonna go up. Where I go even more into this stuff. It's 37 minutes in. Holy shit. And then you match, mirror their exact terminology, position, deliver. Okay? This is how you're going to change your life, your job situation, your career. You apply this principle to every job you want. Analyze the top jobs you want, their keywords, extract those. Make sure you have the skills and the experience, ideally, that can deliver on what they're looking for in those keywords and key phrases. If you don't, then save yourself the headache and don't apply. Or apply and get that experience real fast before the first interview. What's the first interview? Not the first call, but the first call is better, but before the first call is better, but the first interview. Okay. Then you position that to where it's like, hey, how do you frame this? You want to frame it in such a way. Ask ChatGPT for this stuff. Or Claude. To say, hey, tell it your experiences, okay? And tell it to position your experiences to match the keywords and key phrases that they're using. If you want, I may have a video of me demonstrating how to do this. Okay? Then deliver. You provide value with specific examples. Okay? That's pretty much it. If this video has been helpful, share it with other people. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me. You can follow me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn profile is linked in the description below. Hopefully this helps. If you want advice, reach out to me. You can contact me on LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn, that's fine. I'm also on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook, my Facebook page. Or just comment on the video. It's whatever. Okay? Have a good one.